Okay, here we're going to be creating linear equations given the situation that we're finding. Okay, right now we have a line and a straight point. And what we're being told that we want to make a new line that's going to go through this point. So let me show you what this looks like when you have y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2 and then a point negative 6, negative 7. Now, what this looks like is this right here is the y-intercept, so 0, 2. So we're going to go to 0, 2 right here. That's 0, 2. And then the slope here is negative 2/3, which means that this slope, negative 2/3, that's a rise and a run. So we're going to go down 2 or lower or descend 2 and then run 3. So we're going to go down 2, 1, 2, and then over 3, 1, 2, 3, and it takes us to this new point right here. We can go down 2 again, 1, 2, and then over 1, 2, 3 again. Get another point, and we can keep this up, and it'll create a line. So this is the line right here. This is y1. Smooth this over a little bit. This is the y1 line. That's what we're looking at. Now, negative 6, 7 is located, let me see, let me go find that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 7. Okay, so the point is right here. So what we're saying is that in this situation where you have this line and this point, this line, this point, we want a new line that's going to go through this point, but when it we want it perfectly perpendicular to this point. So the new line is actually, go get another pen here. The new line is going to go through the point here, and it's going to hit this line with a perfect 90-degree angle. Now, how do you create that? Well, to create lines, you first need the y-intercept equation, y equals mx plus b, and you're going to need a slope and a intercept. Okay, so once you get the e, m, and the b. Now, this is going to be a second line, so we'll call this a second slope. And how do you find that second slope and the second intercept? Well, to find the slope, you take the first slope, which is, let's call the first slope a over b. If you want a perpendicular slope, which it hits at perfect 90 degrees here, you take the first slope and you take the reciprocal, which is b over a, and you change the sign. This negative here means that we're changing the sign. It's also called an additive inverse. That's technical word for it. So if you do these two things to the slope, you'll get a new slope that's going to be perpendicular. So we're going to do that. We're going to use a new slope and then this equation to find the b. So let's do it. All right. So currently we have that y for the first equation is negative 2/3 x plus 2. This tells us that the first slope that we're dealing with is negative 2/3. The slope that we want to use is going to be a perpendicular slope, and I didn't show you this. Perpendicular, the symbol for that looks like this when we want a perpendicular object. This is a fancy word for perpendicular. It's also orthogonal. So we want an orthogonal slope for the new slope. So the new slope is going to have the reciprocal, which is going to be 3 over 2, and the additive inverse will change the sign. So instead of a negative, this is going to be a positive. So this is going to be the new slope that we have. So the new equation, which is going to be y2 equals the second slope plus b. We have just about all the pieces here to find the b. In fact, we have everything. We need a y, we need a m2, and we need an x. Let's see, the y comes from this right here. That's negative 7. The slope is going to be the positive 3 over 2. And the x is going to be this negative 6 over here. And then plus b. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of work to find out what happens when you multiply a 3 over 2 times a negative 6. So let's work out that. So 3 over 2 multiplied with a negative 6. We'll say 3 over 2 times a negative 6 over 1. You multiply the numerators and you get negative 18. Multiply the denominators, you get 2. Now, the 18 can be divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 is going to be 9 with that negative 9. So this is going to be a negative 7 equals negative 9 plus b. Now to solve for b, we're going to add 9 to both sides. 9 and 9. And different signs subtract, so we'll get a 2. Bigger sign wins, that's a positive 2. And that equals b because the 9's cancel. So now we have everything we need for the new equation. So the new equation is going to be y equals m, the new m right here, the second m, which is 3 over 2, positive 3 over 2, x, and then plus b. The b is going to be a plus 2, so we are done. Okay, let's try the next one. On the next one, we're going to have, we have a y equals 2x minus 5. That's the first equation. So first equation is 2x minus 5. And the slope for the first equation is a 2. Now, to take the reciprocal of a 2, we need to do a little bit of work. So we're going to turn that into a fraction, so it's easier to take a reciprocal. So we're going to take the reciprocal of 2 over 1. So your new slope number 2, which is going to be perpendicular, we take the reciprocal, which is going to be 1 over 2, and we change the sign. So since this is positive 2, the reciprocal is going to be negative. So we're going to be using negative 1/2 on our new equation. So let's start the new equation. So new equation, y2 is going to use m2x plus b. So let's put the y in, which is over here. It's going to be a 1. The slope here is going to be a negative 1/2. Notice I'm using parentheses because this is multiplication. The x here is going to be the 2. We'll put the 2 there. And then plus b. All right, so now we need to, off to the side, we're going to multiply the negative 1/2 and the 2 together. So we're going to make this negative 1/2 multiplied with 2 over 1. The numerator, 1 times 2 is 2. And the denominator, 2 times 1 is 2. And you add the negative. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So your slope, your new slope is going to be negative, sorry, not new slope, but the combination of these two is going to be negative 1. So 1 equals negative 1 plus b. Furthermore, to solve for b, we're going to add 1 to both sides. And we'll get 2 equals b. So now we have our second slope and our second y-intercept. So the new equation is going to be, the second equation is going to be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2.